Well, you lucky listeners, back for a second time in a week. We're previewing the league season after previewing Hibs season. We're going to make this a shorter episode. We're just going to run through our predictions. It's basically just something that we can timestamp and put out there so that once again we can revisit it and have a laugh at our own expense. So we've got you and Greg and Harry assembled, ready to run us through the runners and riders for this season's league season. We're just going to go through it at speed, guys. So I'm going to go for you for the obvious shout first of all. Who is going to win the league this season? Ewan.
Celtic.
Greg.
Celtic.
Harry.
Not Rangers. So Celtic.
Shut up, Harry. Yeah.
Celtic across the board. I mean, no surprises there. I think they look as though they strengthened the game this season after having a very strong last 3 quarters of last season. Probably put a bit of distance between themselves and the rest of the league financially with the Champions League money as well. Does that anyone else think that Rangers have maybe strengthened enough to close the gap a wee bit this season?
I do, actually. I think the business they've done in the last sort of 10 days is pretty decent, actually. But I just think Celtic have got that little bit of consistency with not as many new players coming and expect to make an impact.
Fair.
I just hate Rangers as blindly as I hate Hearts, and I would never admit to thinking they were good enough to win the league.
Aye, that too.
Yeah, but I think that they've narrowed the gap more than Celtic have strengthened. So I think that Rangers are slightly better than last year, but I don't think they're better enough to actually compete with Celtic.
I did horribly predict Rangers to win the league last season, which I'm just reminded myself
of. I'm
absolutely disgusted of it, but how wrong we were. What everyone keeps on pointing out the miracles that Ange Postecoglou is achieving.
Can't take my eyes off you.
Right, Harry, who's going to get relegated?
St Johnstone. Fuck them. Rats.
You've got the right colour for St Johnstone as well. Nice, shitey colour of blue. St Johnstone going down. Is that despite them having one of your favourite players, Jay Wright, at the club?
I don't think they'll play Jay Wright much. I just don't think he's got enough respect in the Premier League, sadly enough. But I don't think what they've added to the squad does enough to keep them afloat. I think they were pretty poor last year and they've been very poor in the cup. And I'm hoping that we can pump them first day of the season, put them in their place.
So goals are going to be their problem, St Johnstone. I look forward to some No Mark St Johnstone podcast clipping this and playing it after they beat us in the first game of the season, because I'm also predicting St Johnstone will be... No, actually, I'm real for St Mirren to be different. Real for St Mirren. I think Stephen Robinson just fills me with no confidence as a manager. I know a couple of you guys really like Stephen Robinson.
Oh, here we go.
I was not part of that. I did not want him.
I think we even with talented youngsters at Motherwell, he didn't really, I know they had that one season. They finished third one season.
I think so. And they made the Scottish Cup final as well.
Just generally, I think his teams are fucking shite to watch.
He's under pressure already there. We never exactly had a great spell last season in the League Cup now.
Aye, but we're in danger of reading too much into League Cup group stages. I think Motherwell maybe struggled last year in League Cup group stages and they got off to a fine start to the season. So maybe reading too much
struggling in Europe
group stages.
And while we're on the subject of past, Greg predicted them to win the League Cup last year, when then they got pumped to
it. Oh dear. Right, Greg, on that happy note, who are you predicting to get relegated?
Motherwell.
Absolutely love that.
Do you know why, right? Do you know why? They've only won one game in 2022 and they got beat off Sligo Rovers last week. That's not a slight on Sligo, but
that's what I wanted to ask you guys. You've got an interest in Ireland. How does Sligo compare in that league? I take it they're not one of the big hitters, are they?
They're also ran. They're also ran. They got into Europe and they're not. Aye.
Yeah. If that's what Sligo Rovers are doing, I dread to think what other teams could do to Motherwell. But
no way goals though. Some of them might manage to go there and sneak a 1-0 and take it to extra time and penalties.
Hopefully not though. But maybe.
Come on, I'm on the coefficient. Right, Ewan, who
actually on that, just chime in. I know we're trying to keep it quick, but there's a couple of boys that work there, Motherwell fans, and they were already planning a trip to Prague, I believe. Before they even played.
Who the Motherwell fans?
I'm not naming them on the podcast, Come on. But yeah,
Commiserations
they were
on
already
the front,
planning
Motherwell
a trip to
fan.
Prague. So yeah,
Yeah, man.
Get it
I've
up,
already
man.
got my tickets booked for Prague. There's that Gordon Sawyers and Kelly when the Welsh team beat them.
Ewan,
Ross,
relegated.
I'll go Ross County and St Johnstone.
Oh, right, okay. All right, aye. Nah, fair. Yeah, okay. And St Johnstone, right, okay. I mean, I didn't think of someone giving me two, but it's perfectly valid. So I don't think Ross County will be in trouble, but I do think St Johnstone, Motherwell, and St Mirren or Neil Dog be the bottom three. Dark horse of the season, so team that's maybe going to punch above their weight. This probably should just be named the Livingston FC Award for like dark horse of the season, team that punches above their weight, team that does better than you expect. But go to Harry first. Who are you going to have for dark horse, Harry?
Hibs. I was going to say, aye.
I was going to say Hibs as well.
You got the third. Yeah. Everyone's already talking us down. I think we're going to have a terrible season. Harry's going all in. He's doubling down. Love that commitment.
Don't back down. Double down.
Ewan?
I was thinking Hibs as well. Hibs.
All right, okay. G?
I don't really want to say Livy, but
well, you're thinking I'm going to go. Would Dundee United be acceptable?
Nah.
When do you think they'll finish like? Yeah, because that's it. If they finish second, then
probably third or fourth, so they're probably not acceptable.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go Ross County because everyone's predicting they're going to be a mess. I think they'll be all right. No, I'm going to go Kelly.
Kelly.
I was going to go Kelly as well.
You can have the same.
That go Dundee United, mate. I think that's a fair shout. If you think they're going to
Liam, I
finish
don't
third or
hate
fourth,
your Dundee
definitely.
United
Sharp,
shout.
Marvin.
I expect Dundee United to be bottom half. So with that,
Do you?
mhm.
I wouldn't put Dundee United ahead of Aberdeen, Hibs, and Hearts, like personally.
I've locked in Coleman. I can't be changing it.
Fair enough.
Greg?
I'll say Kelly as well.
Right.
For the next one, Liam, you've got my answer.
You've got Dundee United, surprise bottom six.
Yep.
Greg, who are you going for? Surprise bottom six.
Hibs. Nah. Surprise bottom six.
Having just predicted them sixth in the previous episode,
Yeah.
Greg has gone for him. Surprise
He's just,
bottom
he's
six.
just doubling down. Like he's covering his bases.
Surprise. Aberdeen.
That would be a shock.
Yeah, that's why it's a surprise, mate.
I went for Hearts last season, the surprise bottom six, and they ended up with 15 points.
Didn't bother.
And I'm not going to attempt 2 seasons in a row. I'm struggling because I think the top 6 will be Rangers, Celtic, Dundee United, Aberdeen, Hearts and Kilmarnock. And I don't think
there's only one answer then, mate.
Surprise. Hibs. Surprise bottom 6. Aye.
Fuck them Hearts. Get them done. The only reason I'm saying them is because there's no other, like, I don't think any other team would be a surprise if they were bottom 6. Like, I think Aberdeen and Dundee United will finish top 6, and I don't think, and I'd rather say Hearts out of them. So fuck them, Hearts, bottom 6 bastards.
Right, league's top goal scorer. Greg, come to you first.
Yakimakis.
Oh fuck! I don't know how to spell that. I think it's.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Is it Georgios?
But anyway,
No, it's not.
Georgios.
Yeah, could have just put GG, like, but yeah, you've started now, you've committed, so.
Every time you say Yakimakis, I just want to say that Borat thing that Yakimakis every time I say Yakimakis. I can't lie. Anyway, Harry, league top goal scorer. It's going to be a Celtic player, isn't it?
I don't want to say it, but I reckon Morelos, to be honest. I reckon he bangs in a few this year, like, if he stays fit. El Buffalo.
I'm going to go for Kyogo. I think if he's fit, I think he'll play enough games to be top goal scorer. Yeah.
Morelos.
That's the first time we've in any of these categories we've done across 2 years that someone said the same as me.
It's because you always
Apart-
go for
apart from Hibs,
absolutely
apart from
wild
Hibs,
shit,
actually.
Apart from the dark horse about 2 minutes ago.
And the winners as well. Ignore me. That's the third time in 2 years. There you go. Sorted.
It was probably the same last year.
What he's
as well,
actually
Harry.
saying is, we've got three. He's got 3 of his 5 so far being the same as what one of us have picked.
Yeah, he's just
You-
an idiot, to be honest. Just don't listen to him.
Your recall's normally the best, Ewan. Who was the first manager sacked last season?
Jack Ross.
Did anyone's predict
Yeah.
that? No.
No, we said. I'm sure I said Tam Courts.
Aye, and I think I said Graham Alexander.
You
He still
did,
did a fucking
aye.
job.
Yeah.
Right. On that basis, Ewan, you go first.
Callum Davidson, I think it's an absolute stick on if they get off to a slow start.
I'm just going to stress people out by putting first names in for the manager when I didn't do it for the league top goal scorer. So I'm going
There's a D missing.
I know. I'm getting there.
Ooh.
PS,
Fucking
see
people
to go
tell me
back to the first episode this week, you put McIntyre MC, it's actually MAC, but I didn't want to call you it.
Oh man, I'm going to have to correct that. Can't be having that. Right. G. First manager sacked.
Graham Alexander, surely. I've not got a vendetta against Motherwell. I'm just genuinely could be the first manager sacked, and they'll still get relegated.
The thing that Graham Alexander has against them is when they're not getting results, the style of football is absolutely fucking terrible. So when they're not getting results allied with that style of football, you'd have to think he'd be a fair shout to go. But I suppose you could say the same thing with Callum Davidson, eh?
I think Davidson only kept his job last year because of the cup wins the year before. If they look even remotely likely to be having a similar season, I think the goodwill's gone.
First manager sacked for me. I think I'm just going to double down. Stephen Robinson's going to go. I think am I right in saying Keith Lasley's a sporting director?
Aye, or
Yeah,
CEO or
yeah.
something, aye.
CEO and Stephen Robinson. I just think that just has that's a recipe for disaster for me, and I think he'll go first. Probably quite early in the season as well. After a League Cup group exit and a very kind of underwhelming finish last season, I don't think he's got much credit in the bank, so I could see him being sacked by October. Harry, first manager sacked.
We're going to pump them, and they'll know able to take it like happens. Every time we pump them, Robbie Nielsen, get him out, Sharon.
Robbie Nielsen, get him out, Sharon. That would be good. That would be. I would enjoy that.
No style. No style.
Harry, take us away on League Player of the Year.
Okay, I'll love that Ray Tati. I can't lie. I hope he gets it because he's absolute gravy when he's on form. Like,
Yeah,
You
huge fan.
A player gets player of the year that isn't a Hibs player. You scumbag.
aye, because Melkison, who I've predicted for Player of the Year, is going to get the League Player of the Year. You fucking tube.
You can hope it though.
Aye, no, definitely can. Definitely can.
I can't even remember the last time a non-Old Firm player won League Player of the Year. The actual League Player of the Year. But I'm going to go for a non-Old Firm player. I think the way he finished last season, and and I think the fact that Wales are in the World Cup in November, no, it's not Christian Deutsch. I'm going to go for Dylan Levitt. I think he will have a very good start to the season this season, and probably a pretty decent end. And I don't think he'll play much for Wales at World Cup, but I think the incentive of having that, I think he'll get off the fly in the season. I think he's probably too good for Dundee United, to be honest. So he's my.
Is he young enough for a young player of the year?
Oh, aye. Well,
that'd be a shout.
22. But League Player of the Year. Left field shout. Not going to happen, but go for it.
Why not? Yeah, I think
League Player of the Year.
A tough one. Jota.
overrated.
If
He's been
consistency, like
he's been absolute filth.
He was fucking humped at Easter Road though last season. I'll go.
Yeah, but so are we, and that was the problem.
I think it will be Kyogo. Goals and assists. I think Morelos will edge him for top scorer, but his overall.
there's a flaw in my Kyogo for top goal scorer plan. If Giakoumakis gets the nod up front, then he'll play on the left, and then I think he'll be very effective. But it's probably hard to see him being the top goal scorer from the left.
I was actually tempted with Player of the Year being Abada. I think he's very good, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had a front three with Giakoumakis down the middle, meaning Abada might not even fucking play that often. If Kyogo and Jota stay fit.
Abada's just
it's a really tough time for Celtic, isn't it?
Oh, it must be murder, eh?
Anyway, this is in danger of turning into a Celtic supporters podcast if we don't move it on very quickly. Let's go to talk about I genuinely think one of the most underrated leagues in football. I know the standard of the games is genuinely absolutely fucking terrible, particularly those playoff games at the end of the season. If anybody actually managed to survive and watch those playoff games, I send out my deepest condolences to you because they were all absolutely stinking to watch. But one of those teams has got to come up this season. I'm going to stick my fork in the ground quickly on this one. I'm going to go for Partick Thistle to be the promoted team out of the Championship this season. I think it's probably a 3-horse race.
We were absolutely dog shite.
Aye, but I just for some reason I think they'll just. I think it'll be the most unconvincing league win ever. I think they'll end up with like win the league like 62 points or something. But I think that's who I'm going for.
I'll stick my neck out next. I'll go Inverness. I think Inverness.
Inverness.
Inverness. I'm glad it wasn't just me that picked up on that. It was almost like his connection
Inverness
twice.
Inver space ness is what it sounded like. Inverness.
Oh, Harry, you're getting it right in the night, lad.
I reckon what's up with Greggy? Fucking hell.
Right, G, who you going for?
I'm just looking at the table now. It's pretty.
You're going to go for the second biggest yo-yo team in Scottish football behind Hearts. And
well, I'm taking them. I'm taking Dundee. He can have them or if he wants, but Dundee are mine.
But no. Well, hold on. No,
I didn't need to sit and think about it. Dundee, I think, are a dead set to win that league.
What, with Gary Boyer, who's achieved next to nothing in his football career, is going to get Dundee promoted out a very difficult league? You having a giggle, mate?
I don't think it's that difficult.
Nah, actually, I don't want to hear your answer. I'm tempted to go for Thistle as well, to be fair.
Partick or Inverness? Inverness.
Patrick Thistle.
Patrick Thistle. Right. Partick Thistle. The final award is a bit of a special one.
I didn't notice that until now.
This is the award for the biggest calamity of the season, which is the
I think we've ended Liam. This is for a club who is going to surprise us the most with something incredibly stupid that they are likely to do off the field. For example, failing to recognise that one of your players is suspended for a football game. But Hibs aside, what club in Scottish football do you reckon is most likely to have a Hamilton academical getting pranked by a
Nigerian prince George Aberdabadengo? Yeah.
So what is the name of the award, please, Liam?
The Hamilton Accies Finance Department Award, 2022-2023 season. Shout out to whoever that was, the Hamilton Accies Finance Department who processed that 900 grand invoice.
I'm gonna stick my neck out on a limb. I'll go first. I don't know why, but I reckon Morton are just one of the ultimate banter clubs. I reckon Morton this season will do something that absolutely bamboozles us all.
I was going to say, do we have to say what we think the madness is?
Nah, it can just be a club that you reckon's got stupid vibes about them.
I think we're all missing a grade on who the biggest basket case in Scottish football is. It's not us.
It's bigger basket case than us, fuck. Genuinely, I mean, that's just the feels right now, isn't it?
I mean, the award definitely went to Wraith Rovers last season.
Oh, good shout.
Open goal, Broomhill FC. I'll take them, please.
I despise them. I absolutely hate them.
Folded, I reckon. Paul Slane under over 5 games this season. I'm taking the under on that.
He's on the bench, yeah.
He's still injured apparently.
I watched that. I skimmed through the documentary they've done. I think his hips literally still fucked for what it was whenever he was.
I watched his
Celtic.
documentary as well, and I wasn't impressed.
I think they'll have a very fucking mediocre start to the season. I've seen they beat Spartans, and then they'll just tumble down to the bottom of that table, I think. Nopingol will be up, and they'll be back to Broomhill FC next year.
United are usually good for you. Aye.
Who's the manager again?
Lee Bullen.
Aye.
Lee Bullen.
Jeff Wins as well.
Yeah.
So who's this obvious basket case?
There's quite a lot. I genuinely think that Falkirk will still have an implosion of some description this season. I know that's about Schadenfreude or what's just happened, but they are an absolute mess of a football club, and I think they will fail to get out of League One again this season, despite having John McGlynn and his baseball cap around for the entire season. I just at some point something will go drastically wrong for Falkirk, and I think signing up to be feeder club Rangers or whatever their official title is. Rangers,
is that a thing?
I think so. I think it was announced last
week. I've not seen anything. That's mental. That.
But anyway, they're basically taking half the Rangers team on loan, and I just think that's
Falkirk Football Club Rangers bootlickers to give them the proper title.
And I would love anybody but them to win that League One this season. Would be class. And Falkirk to miss out narrowly on the playoffs in the last day, or to get beat in the playoffs. Actually,
League One looks tasty this season. I think it looks like a decent.
I wouldn't say anyone. Well, I certainly don't want Kelly Hearts to win anything.
No.
I'm also really fond of FC Edinburgh, as they're called now.
I think
Clyde, fuck Airdrie. Yeah. I want them to win that league.
Aye.
Really sad for them. Pass away, get them back up.
So you're talking. There is some big clubs in inverted commas in that league this year, isn't there? That would fancy their chances at it. Yeah, interesting one.
Yeah.
I think League One will be a better league than Championship this season. That'll be my call.
Was that your hot take?
It was terrible this season. I think it was fucking terrible.
League One?
There's just so many shit. Not the Championship.
No, same. I think Dundee will cruise it. I really do. I really think Dundee will cruise it.
I don't think Dundee are capable of cruising anything apart from relegation.
I'm just not sure about Gary Boyer, to be honest. He's literally ever done anything.
Done all right at Salford now.
Nah, that's why he got sacked, mate.
But is that another one that Neville's come out on record and said it was probably his biggest mistake other than the Valencia job?
Don't know. The Valencia job was a pretty big mistake.
It's like up there. That's Hamilton Aki's finance department level.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
You guys want some stupid questions to wrap up?
Let's get some patter questions. Go for it, Harry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. First things first. Question from Dav Williamson 6. What are the panel members' favourite cheeses, either to consume individually or alongside any other foodstuff combo? If anybody says mozzarella on pizza, you will be kicked off the podcast and permanently blocked.
That would be my shout, given it's a really obvious one. I would take mozzarella on pizza.
Like a camembert.
Me and Greg were talking about a certain individual earlier on today who's got quite a lot of holes in him, and it made me think of cheese. Is anyone a fan of? I don't know if it's Jarlsberg. I think it's maybe Swiss cheese, like holy cheese.
Oh, you get in slices in that.
Sometimes stick it on a burger. It goes really well on a burger, but it's just good out of the packet as well. Honourable mention as well to Baby Bells. Baby Bells, fucking class.
I like at Costco. They've got like a tear and share bread, and it's all stuffed with camembert and brie and stuff. It's fucking sensational.
I like a really mature cheddar because it's grown up. I like people that have grown up.
I was going to say, I was surprised that Liam went for baby cheese. I was expecting you to go for like quite sophisticated, like brie, camembert,
Nah,
etc.
I don't like blue, and I don't like goat's cheese or feta or anything like that. I like halloumi.
Halloumi's
It's a
good.
bit
I like
salty, so
halloumi.
weird to go.
Halloumi solid. Halloumi
Where's
fries.
the best? Where's the best halloumis I've ever had? This can be done in the restaurants.
So I went to a place in Glasgow at the West End when the night we went to see Sam Fender, went to an Iranian restaurant and had halloumi off the barbecue. It was fucking
You told
incredible.
me.
Fucking incredible. Blew my mind.
Do you know where Ken? If any's been to Bucks Bar in Glasgow,
Aye.
their halloumi
That's
fries
lovely.
are magnificent.
Looks good to be fair, but I've not been.
Aye, it's good. Like it's very good. What else you got for us, Harry?
Coming in from Curvy Nisbet, a good friend of the pod, he asked, can you confirm or deny the presence of your DownTheSlope section? We did talk about meal deals at the end of the last podcast. Have any of you had a meal deal in the last week you would like to disclose, or should I disclose my last one?
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for your one again, Harry. To be honest,
Yeah.
not bad.
I've not had a meal deal for a while, mate. But I'm just back to the shops before we started recording this. But what did you have?
All right, so when Sainsbury's this time mixed it up, their meal deal actually
London,
I think
London,
£3.50. £3.50 for a meal deal is cheaper than the Co-op. But I went for a bacon and chicken sandwich.
Nice.
After last week's slogan.
I think the best variety of Coke, in my opinion, Coca-Cola that is Coke Zero.
Colombian.
You're on the market
Zero.
for that.
So I went for Coke Zero myself, and then I went for pork pies. They get 2 pork pies in a wee pack, so I went for that for a bit of something different.
Really? And a meal deal?
You get a
Aye,
Tesco.
What?
Know
Sainsbury's?
what, Harry?
Yeah,
Harry,
Tesco
that's
and Morrison's,
all
I know.
right.
I'll give you that. Aye, that's solid.
Give me ratings, boys. What were we thinking? Break it down.
8.5.
Coke Zero as well, to be
7.5.
fair.
Well,
I like a Coke Zero. I'll give that a 9.
I'm trying to think what could improve it, and I'm struggling. Probably
Bacon and chicken's always reliable as well, eh?
It's no
Yeah.
if you keep calling it fucking bacon and chicken and no chicken and bacon, we'll have fucking problems. But
Alphabetical.
I know how that's solid. That's good. That's much
It's
better.
a big
That's much
improvement
better
on
than your
last week, to be
fucking.
honest.
That's much better than your fucking Evian. I'll tell you that.
What
Good
was
they
it?
got much
Last week, fucking prawn cocktail crisps or something?
No, what was it? It was I can't even think what I had.
It's a really shite sandwich, though.
He had
No,
the
no,
cheese
no,
and
I
ham
had the
sub.
chicken. I had chicken satties.
yeah.
Chicken satties. It was cheese, ham,
Aye.
mayo, sub, chicken
Yeah,
satties, and then
shite.
the big strawberry Evian water.
Just shite.
I'd
Really
say
poor Harry.
improvements across the board, to be honest.
Last
Aye,
week-
Well, it's better.
drink.
Well,
A Coke Zero.
last week Liam was raving about his mint choc chip. This week's ice cream purchase has been a Ben and Jerry's half-baked filly that I'm about to dive into while I produce this episode. Between
Right,
Harry-
well, you
between-
produce in your own time. Oh
between
my
me-
goodness.
I'm gonna say something here that's going to be very controversial, but Ben and Jerry's ice cream is one of the most overrated food products in the world.
Yeah.
It was
Correct.
£2.50.
No,
Ben
you buy it
and
when it's on
Jerry's.
offer. The way whenever it's on offer, you're like, oh, it's a good deal. But that's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
you would never.
It's
pay
like
full price
Pringles,
for
but
it
no, it's
anyway.
good.
It's never worth the full price.
No.
Do you know what I rate better than Ben and Jerry's? That's a premium ice cream. Häagen-Dazs, pralines and cream Häagen-Dazs.
Salted caramel one's tidy. It's got proper like, I don't know what the best. It's almost like tablet. You know when you bite into a bit of caramel that's like really fucking sugary. It's tidy.
Good. Very good stuff.
But here's something
Oh.
else that's too expensive, but what do you call it? I'll buy it if it's on reduced price anyway. Goo desserts, like the wee cheesecakes and that you get.
Proper fun
they're
to
all-
them.
Nice.
When they're doing it at like £2.50, I'm like, oh, bargain, because they're normally like £4, but that's still an absolute rip-off for what you get, like, eh?
Fucking
They're over
tidy,
in
though.
like 2 bites. Kind of a really good council version of them is like the Rolos or the Milky Bar yogurt. So good.
The rolls are banging, by the way. That's
I've
next
been really
level.
struggling. I've been really struggling to find them recently. It's
they're
always.
everywhere down here,
I've
like.
just
Open
been
your
seeing the
eyes then.
fucking. I've just been no. It's just been. They've had like the mousse versions of them, and it's just.
Oh,
but a lot of the shops haven't had the the good ones.
You've got ones. They're good.
Food. I went in a Food Warehouse and they had it, and I stocked up on about
Food
4 packs.
Food Warehouse is fucking next level, by the way. You get decent scran in there.
Well, that's this week's Doing the Shops, and that's our Scottish football predictions for the season. Let us know which you enjoyed more. I'm pretty sure it'll have been the last 5 minutes in the first 25.
I'm really sorry about the content we put out this week, but
We are
It's
really, really
really-
excited for the first game of the season.
It's really, really pish, and I can't wait to be on here next week moaning about how bad we were at the weekend.
aye,
Aye.
it's going to be good fun, eh? But luckily, I mean, aye.
The league season's back.
What can I say?
Let's get
It's
the
good-
hope.
it's good
Let's
to
get
have
the
it-
hope.
It's good to have it back. It's good to have it back.
Aye.
Bring back Guess Who?
Aye, we'll bring that back next week.
Yeah.
Maybe even lead. If we get beat, we'll lead with that.
Aye.
And then just no talk about the game. In fact, that's a new policy for this season. When we get beat, we're no reviewing the game.
Yes,
There
who
you
only.
That's our policy.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll
So
just
the-
play Guess Who.
Liam
There'll be a lot of
introduced
very
us.
short episodes.
Liam introduced us. I'm taking us out. Good night. Thanks. And like I said, we'll be back next Monday. Fingers crossed, reviewing the first 3 points of a successful season. Cheers.
Take care.